Hello and welcome into the weekly Main Street Media TV High School Football Preview Show. The Main Street Media sports editors and sports writers on our show each week will be on the ground at the games in your coverage areas, which means if you're seeing this in Middle Tennessee, we're probably going to be talking about your favorite school. And don't forget to pick up your local Main Street Media of Tennessee newspaper each week for full reports and photographs of your team's games. We'll be making our way today across Middle Tennessee to find out what's coming up for all our local teams, to find out if your community is served by Main Street Media of Tennessee newspaper. Go to mainstreetmediatn.com, and when you find your local newspaper, think about signing up for a subscription so you don't miss any of the local news, sports, and more that your local newspapers have lined up for you each week. Well, it's time to get started, and David Wilson over in East Middle Tennessee is up first. Take it away, David.
Everybody, this is David Wilson, East Middle Tennessee Regional Sports Editor for Main Street Preps. Here to give you a quick preview of all the Week 10 games across Wilson and Rutherford County this week as we reach the penultimate week of the regular season. We'll start things off in Wilson County, where it is a battle between Green Hill and Wilson Central in Region 4 6A. With the win, Green Hill can clinch another and second straight region title in this matchup. They're fresh off a win last week over Lebanon. Staying in Region 4 6A, it's Lebanon, fresh off their first loss of the season at Green Hill last week. They will travel to Gallatin this week, where they would take on the Green Wave up at Calvin Short Field. Lebanon's still in the hunt to potentially lock up the second seed in Region 4 6A and secure a home playoff game in the first week of the Class 6A playoffs. Staying in 6A in Region 4, it's Cookeville and Mount Juliet, a battle of 2 and 6 teams. One of them is going to clinch a playoff spot this weekend at Roger Perry Field at the Bear Den. Mount Juliet fresh off a win last week, 30-0 over Wilson Central. They'll look to lock up a playoff spot this week at home. Staying in a Wilson County action in Division II Single A in the Middle Region, it's Friendship Christian looking to stay in the hunt and set up a de facto region championship winner take all next week at National Christian. They will travel across Wilson County to take on Mount Juliet Christian, who is fresh off their bye week. They picked up a win prior to the bye against Glencliff, and they're looking to make it 2 in a row and pull up a major upset to unseat maybe a little Division II Single A playoff standings. And then rounding it out in Wilson County, it's a non-region matchup for Watertown as they're fresh off their win last week in region play at Cascade. They will travel to Sumner County where they would take on Liberty Creek, who lost to White House last week. In Rutherford County, obviously inter-county matchups are prevalent in Region 3 6A. We'll start things off where it is Blackman traveling to Siegel. Also, it is Stewart's Creek taking on undefeated Oakland in Murfreesboro. Also, Riverdale traveling to Rockville. Rockville trying to stay in the hunt for their playoff pitcher as well. You have Laverne, who is 0-8 on its season. They are traveling to Smyrna, who is 3-5. You have PCA, who is 6-2 on the season, 2-0 in district play, or region play rather. They will travel to Concord Christian. And then rounding it out, obviously we talked about Eagleville ending its season with several straight road games. They will do that this weekend as they take on Zion Christian. That'll do it this week on the preview. Looking forward to talking to you guys on the wrap-up next week.
Thanks, David. Over in North Central Middle Tennessee, Blaine Kellar is ready to go.
In between the busyness of the state volleyball tournament, North Central Regional Sports Editor Blaine Kellar is here to give you a look at the schedule to come in Week 10 of the Tennessee high school football season. These stories and scores will be found on MainStreetPreps.com as well as in print, the Gallatin News, Hendersonville Standard, Portland Sun, and Main Street Nashville. In Sumner County, the Region 6 5A championship will be decided a week early as Beach and Portland go head-to-head. The Panthers look to be the biggest hurdle in the way of the Buccaneers repeating as region champions at the start of the season. They suffered a setback against Davidson Academy a week ago. Beach is firing on all cylinders and looks to be favored at Shackle Island Stadium on Friday. But the Sumner County schedule starts Thursday as the Hendersonville Commandos, surging still after an overtime win against Station Camp, hit the road to take on Shelbyville Central in non-region action. Other area games, another big one with region implications. Second place is on the line between the Gallatin Green Wave and the Lebanon Blue Devils. Gallatin, for the second straight season, will transform into Union, the Red Devils, to honor Gallatin's segregation-era Union High School. Lots of history there. Great celebration that they put on. Now, once a year, they're starting the ceremony a year ago for football. Liberty Creek takes on Watertown. White House heads to Pearl Cone. Westmoreland plays Maplewood. And JP2 faces Columbia Central trying to snap a skid. And I believe that does us for the Sumner County schedule. With regards to Davidson and Williamson, it's been a light couple of weeks because of fall break and a lot of teams out of town. That's the case this week as CPA, for example, hits the road to Knoxville Catholic. Our Carl Edmondson Jr. will be there for photos, making the trip out east. FRA faces Grace Christian Academy and what will be a fight for first place as the Panthers try to retain their top spot in the Division II AA Middle Region. Brentwood Academy also looks to stay scorching on its season as the Eagles face Father Ryan. Again, you can find all of that on MainStreetPreps.com, Main Street Nashville, the Portland Sun, the Gallatin News, and the Hendersonville Standard. We'll see you in a few days for the wrap-up show, and we'll see you online to catch our coverage there.
Thank you, Blaine. There's still a lot more previews coming up this week, but first, we need to stop and hear from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
He shoots, and he scores!
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Welcome back, and it's time to head down south to Maurice Patton in southern Middle Tennessee.
Hey, I'm Maurice Patton. Week 10 of high school football down here in southern Middle Tennessee actually gets started on Thursday night in West Tennessee as Loretto travels out to Bolivar Central. The Mustangs 2-6, Bolivar 3-5 coming into this one. Loretto trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. All of those in Region 5-2A action, so maybe stepping out of the region for a non-region matchup will be to the Mustangs' benefit. But again, Loretto goes on the road on Thursday night, taking on Bolivar Central to get the week started. On Friday, we got a Region 5-2A matchup as Riverside of Decatur County comes to Summertown. The Panthers coming in at 2-6 overall, 2-2 in region play. Host Summertown 4-4 overall, 2-2. Summertown has won 2 of its last 3, so the Eagles have gotten on a little bit of a roll here. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, that's right. They've won 2 of their last 3. Another big matchup in Region 4-5A as Lincoln County goes to Lawrence County. Battle of 2 6-2 squads. Lawrence County 1-2 in region play. Lincoln County 1-1, but the Falcons have dropped their last 2 outings, so big chance for Lawrence County to kind of step up and possibly put themselves in position for a home game to open the playoffs here in a couple of weeks. Lawrence County, again, 6-2 overall, 1-2 in region play. Shooting for their best season since they went 8-3 in 2014. That's the last time they won more than 6 games. So big night Friday night for Lawrence County as the Wildcats take on visiting Lincoln County in Region 4-5A. In Region 5 1A, another game with title implications as Richland goes on the road taking on Fayetteville. The Raiders 6-2 overall, 2-1 in region play. Fayetteville 3-4, but all three of their wins have been in region play. The Tigers 3-0 in Region 5 1A. Again, title implications all over this one as Richland can climb to the top or Fayetteville can stay unbeaten and pretty well wrap things up. Big one over in Fayetteville for the Raiders. In Region 4 3A, Forest comes to Giles County on Friday night. Forest is 6-2 overall, 2-1 in region play. Giles County is 5-3. They are also 2-1, and with a big trip looming in week 11 to Sequatchie County. This one's huge for the Bobcats. Giles County has won their last 4 straight. In Region 6-6A, Brentwood comes to Independence. The Bruins 5-3 overall, but 4-0 in 6-6A. Independence 3-4 overall, 2-2. But it's a big night out at Eagle Stadium as Independence will be recognizing their 2015 Class 5A state championship team. So big night out there and a little football mixed in as well. Also in Region 6-6A, Summit goes to Franklin. The Spartans 2-6 overall, 1-3 in region play. Just snapped a 6-game losing skid this past weekend down at Coffee County and trying to keep themselves in position for a playoff spot are the Spartans. Again, 2-6 overall, 1-3 in region play. Franklin 1-7, 0-5. Big matchup for Summit as they go to Franklin on Friday night. In non-region action, Eagleville goes to Zion Christian. The Eagles coming in at 5-3, Zion Christian 3-4. Just lost their first one after 3 straight wins. The host Eagles did. So big matchup of Eagles there. Again, Eagleville at Zion Christian on Friday night. In Division 2 AA middle region play, Davidson Academy travels to Columbia Academy. Davidson 4-4 overall, 1-3 in region play. Columbia Academy is 1-7 overall, 0-4 in the league. The Bulldogs have lost 7 straight after winning their opener against Fayetteville. So been a tough go for the Bulldogs as they have stepped up to D2 AA play. Columbia Central goes to Pope John Paul II on Friday night. The Lions 4-3, JP2 3-5. Columbia Central been on a little bit of a roll here of late. Again, had a big win a couple of weeks ago against Lincoln County and trying to close things out on a high note here. Another non-region matchup has Glencliff going to Battle Creek. The Colts 0-7, Battle Creek 2-6. Trying to build a little momentum here as they eye a playoff spot in their first season of varsity play. Glencliff traveling to Battle Creek Friday night. In a Region 5 4A matchup, Spring Hill goes to Marshall County. Speaking of title implications, the Raiders 3-4 overall, but 2-0 in region play, as are the host Tigers, 5-3 overall, 2-0 in region play. The winner of this one has the inside track on a region championship. Big game when Spring Hill goes to Marshall County on Friday night. Bigger though, in 5-2A, Mount Pleasant travels to Lewis County on Friday night. Matching 7-1, 4-0 marks for these two in Region 5-2A. Mount Pleasant has won their last 5. They finish up in Week 11 against Loretto. Lewis County took its first loss of the season this past weekend over at Lexington. They will finish up against Decatur County Riverside. So this one is pretty well going to decide the Region 5-2A championship. Big matchup over in Hohenwald when Mount Pleasant goes on the road to Lewis County. That does it for the Week 10 schedule down here in Southern Middle Tennessee. I'm Maurice Patton. We'll see y'all next week.
Thanks, Maurice. Up next is Calvin White. He previews your teams in Northwest Middle Tennessee.
Hello everybody, this is Calvin White, Northwest Regional Sports Editor for Main Street Preps. Here to give you a quick preview of all of the Week 10 high school football action in Montgomery, Robertson, and Houston County. We're going to start over in Montgomery County. The game of the week in the area is going to be played at Hilda J. Richardson Field. Clarksville is hosting Antioch for the de facto region championship game. Antioch and star quarterback Andre Adams have lit up the scoreboard all season long. They're coming off a 64-point outing last week. Clarksville has won 6 in a row after starting 0-2. that game will decide the region champion out there. Rossview hits the road to Nolensville for non-region action for their penultimate regular season game. Rossview's won 4 straight to get back to 500. They're now 4-4 after an 0-4 start. Kirkwood makes the little drive over to Northwest over here in Clarksville. Kirkwood 7-1. They've been really dominant on both sides of the ball all season. Northwest still searching for its 3rd win after beating Montgomery Central a couple weeks ago for its 2nd win of the year. West Creek is hosting John Overton. Overton 1-7, West Creek 0-8, still looking for its 1st win. Northeast is going to host Dickson County. Northeast has lost 6 straight after its 2-0 start. They'll look to get back on the right track with a region win against Dickson County. Montgomery Central travels to Creekwood. Montgomery Central still looking for its 2nd win of the year after beating Harpeth earlier in the season. And Clarksville Academy is going to travel to Franklin Christian Academy. Clarksville Academy has really sputtered over the last month or two. The Cougars started 2-0 this year, but really haven't been able to string together that 3rd win over the last couple of weeks. They'll look to get a road win at Franklin Christian. Moving over to Robertson County, Springfield is going to travel to Greenbrier to compete for the Pitt Carroll Trophy. Springfield 7-1, Greenbrier 1-7. Historic rivalry matchup in that one. White House Heritage is traveling to Sycamore for non-region action before the final week of the regular season. White House Heritage enters that one at 6-2. East Robertson is hosting Greenwood from Kentucky. East Robertson still undefeated at 8-0. Like Kirkwood, they've been really dominant on both sides of the ball all year. They'll look to move to 9-0 in that one. Joe Burns is hosting Whitwell on Thursday. Joe Burns has really taken it up a notch on offense ever since quarterback Luke Miller returned a couple of weeks ago. Kavion Broxton's been really dominant on the ground all year for the Red Devils. They'll look to pick up a win against Whitwell on Thursday. White House travels to Pearl Cone. White House, winners of 3 in a row, picked up a nice win against Liberty Creek last week. They'll face one of their toughest tests of the season when they hit the road to Pearl Cone this week. Innovation Academy is hosting Clay County. Innovation Academy still looking for its 2nd win of the year after beating Lookout Valley earlier in the season. And finally, moving over to Houston County, the Fighting Irish will travel to East Nashville for region action. East Nashville didn't get off to a great start this year, but they have proven why they are always considered one of the best teams in the state. Nearly beat Springfield a couple of weeks ago. That will definitely be a huge test for Ormond Meadow and his Houston County Fighting Irish. And that'll do it for all of our Week 10 high school football preview coverage in the Northwest region. As always, I'm Calvin White, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Calvin. Okay, we've covered a lot of territory, but we're not quite done. So stay right there, and we'll be back to finish up right after this.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
All right, we are back, and we'll finish up this week with more from West Middle Tennessee and Wade Neely.
What's up, folks? Wade Neely here. I am your sports editor over in Hickman County, Dixon County, and Cheatham County, and it's time for a preview of what's on tap. Week 10 of the high school football season is upon us. Only 2 weeks remain in the regular season. Time has absolutely flown by. I don't know where it has gone, but man, am I glad that we have some compelling stuff coming down the stretch here in all three of our respective coverage areas. So it should be a fun week, and we hope that you guys are going to bundle up. It's going to get that real kind of crisp air on Friday night, so it should be a good one as we head out to our Week 10 contest. We'll start with Cheatham County, where the region slate is as loaded and as chaotic as advertised, folks. Sycamore, Cheatham County, and Harpeth all are in action this week, and 2 of those games in particular are big region showdowns, but we'll start with Sycamore. They don't really get much bigger out of region this late in the season, but Sycamore is going to welcome a very talented White House Heritage team to Pleasant View on Friday night. That should be a dandy. And again, it's a non-region game, but Sycamore still very much would like to take care of business and get the win on Friday night. Meanwhile, Cheatham County is up against backs against the wall, as it were. They've got Fairview coming to town. If they were ever going to spring an upset, it would be Friday night versus Fairview. So hopefully Coach Halstead and the bunch can cash in on that home field advantage. They've had some great success at home at the new digs there in Ashland City. So hopefully they can take care of that on Friday night. Again, big region showdown. Elsewhere, Harpeth is taking on Waverly. And Waverly has totally risen from the ashes from a season ago after going winless. All they have done is won every single region game thus far, folks. Waverly continues to be one of the big stories, not just in the mid-state, but across the state of Tennessee in high school football. Meanwhile, Dixon County Schools, Creekwood is taking on Montgomery Central, and Dixon County is on the road up at Clarksville Northeast. We will have coverage of all those games as well. Creekwood at home to Montgomery Central, and Dixon County is on the road at Clarksville Northeast. Finally, we close with Hickman County. And for the teams and their records, you might be scratching your head saying, it doesn't seem like the biggest game. But this game means everything, not just in terms of a rivalry, but in terms of region showdown, in terms of playoff ramifications. All eyes will be descending upon Centerville Friday night as Hickman County comes calling, and the winner of this game is for sure going to lock up a playoff berth. Hickman County and East Hickman, they've respectively gone through their ups and downs this season, but they're 2 really good football teams that are still battling hard. We did the broadcast last Friday night of Hickman County versus East Nashville. Didn't go their way. They got trounced 41-3, but they were battling in that game. And even though the final score was what it was a close game, and Hickman County, a couple plays on offense in the first half in particular, go a different direction. Maybe we're talking about Hickman County springing what would have been a massive upset. But as it sits, East Hickman comes calling. If Hickman County can win this game, they punch their ticket to the playoffs despite an up and down year. Same set of circumstances, though, for Coach Austin and the East Hickman Eagles. That's what's going to make it fun. The records are not the best, but the theater and the drama is off the charts when those 2 rivals get it on Friday night. Wade Neely saying so long for now. A tip of the cap to our friend Casey Patrick, wishing him all the best, a safe and speedy recovery. Yours truly signing off, and we will see you next time as Week 10 of the high school football season is right upon us.
And that does it for this week's high school football preview show. Did you know that Wade and Casey are the broadcast team for the Main Street Media Radio's Thursday night game of the week? They take their talents on the road to a different high school stadium each Thursday, so watch and listen for them at your school soon. Their broadcasts are streamed each Thursday at 6:45 on our paper's social media pages at mainstreetmediaradio.com and on the Main Street Media TV app. Pretty much anywhere you can see this show. And don't forget that Main Street Media TV has a lot of great high school, college, and professional football-based shows that are lined up for you this season. So make sure you keep your eye on our local newspaper websites and social media pages, or download that app where you can catch all our great programming every day. Also, don't miss our weekly high school football wrap-up show with these same sports editors and reporters who are covering your school's teams every Tuesday during high school football season. I hope you go out and find a game in your area Friday night. We'll see you right back here next Thursday with the high school preview show on Main Street Media TV.